Hello everyone, and welcome back. Finally, we're streaming again. Welcome to the stream, everyone. Hello, good morning, good evening. Happy to be back. Silent Taurus and Bryfa Quadjarek, welcome. And Legally Crazy, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm glad you were enjoying the Dark Souls playthrough. Hope you keep enjoying them too, because we've been doing quite the Dark Souls journey, that's for sure. Hey Math, how you doing? In Utopia. 8 o'clock in the morning on the dot. Let's go. 8 o'clock. It's time. It's finally time to play some more Final Fantasy XIV. I've missed you guys. My internet has been so bad. Like, I haven't been able to do like anything off stream either. Like, uploading videos has taken so long. Loading a video to watch takes so long. Just like anything, it's been really awful. The weather's been terrible, which usually I'm fine with, but I think it's affecting the internet to the point where I'm not able to do anything. Today it's nice and sunny, until it rains in the middle of the day. So we've got some time. We've got some time. Like for now, it's hopefully pretty good. Touch wood. Hopefully we don't jinx anything, right? Let's all think about good internet today. So I can actually play a video game. Because it is immensely disappointing to like wake up and try and stream only for my internet to be like, no. And Ghost Mom, good morning. Or good evening. Wherever we all are in this world. I need to go to Minfilia. Minfilia's got my main quest. Mid-afternoon. Sounds cozy. Hope you guys are all keeping well and having a good day or night today. It's Snow White. Yeah, I do need to burn the internet down. I do need to burn the internet down. You're right. And it's tough because our city's in lockdown at the moment. Lots of cases happening. I'm considering moving, but the move is going to be very, very expensive and it's going to take a long time. Or I need to put off all of those plans and move somewhere else locally desperately so I can have good internet. So I don't know what's going on at the moment, but we'll see. Regardless, there's a lot of... I've already been incredibly busy and I have a lot more busy stuff coming up that's just more stressful than busy, you know. It's not a good busy. Ugh, I'm gonna wipe the sleep from my eyes. It's crusty. A good open world game for the PS4. Horizon Zero Dawn or Ghost of Tsushima would be my first two for exclusives. For multi-platform, The Witcher 3. That would be my top 3 suggestions for an open world game for the PlayStation 4. Hey, Deborah to look. Thank you so much for the Prime sub. And Dex, welcome. I'm looking forward to that Bioshock episode tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. Episode 7. I wish I could show you the 3 episodes that I've already done. I wish I could show you the 3 episodes that I've already done. Haven't uploaded them yet because I have to figure out when is appropriate to do so. You know. Hey, Dober, thank you so much. I appreciate that you've been watching the whole Soul series. It's been a blast. I've got, yeah, Ghost of Tsushima. I've got it on PS4. I'm holding off on upgrading to the PS5 version at the moment because I don't really have time to play through the game. I've barely scratched the surface of that game, but I've been playing it for like quite a few hours. It's gorgeous. It is the most beautiful game on that console, and Horizon Zero Dawn almost comes up like second place for that because the environments of those games are amazing, and the photo modes of both of those games are the best. You can make a movie out of Ghost of Tsushima's photo mode because what's perfect about it is you can actually still have the environment move. Like you can so you can just like record the environments in photo mode. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. So highly recommend. At the moment, I'm trying to finish Horizon Zero Dawn. I feel like I'm close to some sort of ending to that game. So I've been in my spare time, this much spare time that I have, I sat down to play some more Horizon Zero Dawn the other night, getting through it, which is cool. And then when I finish that, I'll probably start trying to do Ghost of Tsushima in my spare time, and that might be when I upgrade to the PS5 version. But even then, without upgrading to the PS5 version, both Horizon Zero Dawn and Ghost of Tsushima, the PS4 versions are 60 frames per second on the PS5. And it's so smooth. It's great. Yeah. Ghost One, I bought it the day it came out in 2016. I was like, hell yeah. And then I played it for like 8 hours, and then I never touched it again for no other reason than I was just too busy. And I wish that I just played it through and kept it going. But I want to finish it and have it done, so when Forbidden West comes out, we can play that one on the channel. So it should be pretty cool. I'll be looking to play that one on the channel. Now, I need to go here for my main quest. Pick up my main quest from Minfilia. Depending on how we go, I might even do the hard mode trials for Ifrit, which we do have a quest waiting for. I haven't even really been able to play this. I haven't even really been able to play Final Fantasy XIV. Off stream for a while because obviously the main stuff that I want to do, these main quests, I want to show on stream, and I just haven't even had time to jump onto the game in my free time and just do like leveling up with like random dungeons and stuff. So every time I've been jumping on Final Fantasy XIV lately has been for these streams. So I wish I could play it more, but I'm very busy. I actually haven't streamed for a while, Bear. We've been having a lot of internet issues, unfortunately. So I last streamed when did I last stream? I cannot remember when I last streamed. That's how long it's been, but it was last week, I believe. Pretty sure it was last week, last Friday, maybe. But yeah, unfortunately, it's just been pretty bad. I've never played SMT or Persona, but I've heard about them. I do intend to play through Persona at least one day on the channel. I know you can get the base game for Persona 5 through PlayStation Plus collection at the moment, and then there's also, I think, Persona 3 is a PS2 game, and Persona 4 you can get on Steam. I'm not sure about Persona 1 and 2. I think those are on like PlayStation 1 or something. Hey, Quadjark, thank you so much for gifting 2 subs to Nuclear Snake and Gantrathor. Much appreciated. But I love turn-based RPGs. I was raised on turn-based RPGs. Like, Final Fantasy VII was pretty much my first game, and I spent my entire childhood with that game, and still spend my time with that game. So yeah, Final Fantasy VII is one of the best experiences I've had with turn-based. Final Fantasy X probably has the most perfect turn-based battle system, though, in my opinion. That it's just a flawless battle system. It's so good. But the next JRPG that's going to be making its way onto the channel is one that's been on my backlog for a very long time, and I hear nothing but good things about. So I'm very excited to eventually be playing Chrono Trigger. I just need to free up some time for it. Final Fantasy VII is something that I can talk very passionately about for hours. Final Fantasy VII is legendary for a reason. Like, as much as the city is kind of disgusting and run down, like, man, living in Midgar, like that city, like that aesthetic of a city is just so amazing to me. It's got like that. It's got like a little bit of steampunk going on in there, but a little bit of cyberpunk, and it's just like so cool. Hey, Bitmap, thank you for all the nice words. I'm glad you've been enjoying Dark Souls 3. Yorm was just incredible. Hey, Turbo, I appreciate that. Yeah, I think I would. I'm not sure where I would start. I guess Persona 5 would be the easiest. There's so many versions of it though, so I don't even know where to. I don't even know where to start. Like there are so many versions of Persona 5 that I literally just am like, where do we start? Because there's like Persona 5, then there's like Persona 5, like, what is it, like Arena, and then Strikers, and Royal. There's just like so much, right? But I think Persona 4 just has like, what is it, Persona 4 Golden or something? But yeah, I don't actually own any of the games yet. I have Persona 4 Golden on Steam on my wish list at the moment, but I haven't picked it up yet. Persona 5 Royal. Okay, cool. I'll look into that. Alphanaud has been wounded. Alphanaud has been wounded. Interesting. Minfilia's taken a very interesting approach to things at the moment. Let's go rescue Alphinaud. Yeah, if we end up getting if Mobius and Pablo end up showing up, if they can show up today, we'll probably look at doing hard mode for Ifrit and stuff. Do some other dungeons together, but we'll see how we go. Otherwise, I'll probably just be pushing through to complete story stuff. Alphinaud's been wounded. Look at him standing here perfectly fine.
Come, you must have... Ul'dah, on the other hand, is not. This riot was anything but an isolated incident.
It's not ready for voice acting.
There is a restlessness in the air. Tensions long simmering are at last threatening to boil over.
Okay. It's like, oh no, Alphinaud's wounded.
Ul'dah is a nation infamous for the great disparity between the wealthy and the poor. The majority of the populace accepts this state of affairs because they believe that every man bears responsibility for his own lot in life. To an Ul'dah, money is the foremost, and some would say the only measure of a man's worth. Small wonder that the wealthiest wield the greatest influence. So where do the refugees fit into this social hierarchy? What place is there for those who fled Alamigo and the destruction of the Calamity? Plainly, there is none. They have no wealth, no power, and no worth. To the Ul'dah way of thinking, they may as well not exist.
Hey, Tito, how you doing?
Choosing to ignore their existence, however, is
Thanks for
patently
tuning in.
not an option.
And Quadraric, thank you.
And the Sultana understand this.
Have a good one.
Which is why they ordered the Immortal Flames to provide the refugees aid and succor. Yet none would dispute that the expenses incurred by this policy grow by the day, with no end in sight. This has prompted more and more Uldans to question their obligation to aid these worthless wanderers. While more and more refugees have come to resent their treatment at the hands of the sneering citizenry. The manner of Lord Lolorito's refusal to grant the Dolmens asylum bespoke a disdain for all refugees, an attitude shared by the rest of the monetarists. And you may be sure they make no effort to conceal their opinions. It was only a matter of time before the refugees united in protest, nor is it any surprise that some among them would ultimately resort to violence. That the Immortal Flames should choose this of all occasions to engage in joint training exercises with the other Grand Companies. By the time they return, the situation may well have deteriorated beyond mending.
Thank you. The Great Divide. See if I can get the attention of Pablo and Mobius today. Hall of Flames. There you are, sir.
Durbatuluk _ donated $20. This is for you to buy Persona 4, ha ha ha. I would love to see you play when you have the time. He'll be joining the Patreon soon. Love the content, keep it up.
Thank you so much, Durba. I appreciate that. That's so nice of you. I'll certainly pick that up now after the stream. Thanks. I'm assuming. I think I spoke to some people on stream about this before because we've had a Persona conversation before. That I believe all the Persona games are like separate. Persona games are you could play whichever one because they're not connected, like similar to how Final Fantasy works. And then I think Dragon Quest also has kind of plays by the same rules. Cool. I'll have to running themes that repeat. Okay. Cool. Speak with the brass blades at Last Hope. Alright, let's go. What is well for the Persona fans. For the Persona fans in the chat. What would be your favorite one that you've played? More of an SMT fan? Okay. Yeah, I've heard of both of them and that they're like connected in a way, but I've definitely seen more of like Persona in the mainstream, I guess. Favorite one is 4. Well, that might just end up being the one that I'm playing first. We will see. Yeah, I can either play P4 Golden on Steam, or I can play they have the base game, like just the standard Persona 5 in the PlayStation Plus collection. But maybe I can wait until the Royal Edition is on sale or something. Yes, God of War. It was my game of the year for 2018. 100%. That was like the best game that I played in 2018, for sure. And there were some good games. There were some good games in 2018. There were some good games. Red Dead Redemption 2 being one of those good games. That's correct. Red Dead Redemption 2 and God of War 2018. Oh my god. Metal Gear. Metal Gear. Let me have a look. Let me have a look. Try and see if I can see it on the PlayStation Store. Let's have a look. Search it on the PlayStation app on my phone. So the Ultimate Edition, there's Persona 5 and then there's the Persona 5 Ultimate Edition, but then I still think that's separate to Royal. Persona 5 Royal. There's a Royal Ultimate Edition as well, naturally. It's currently $100 for P5 Royal. $100 dues. So, a bit pricey at the moment. I think Royal is on sale for maybe for you at the moment, or are we looking at Steam? Because I was looking at PlayStation. What the hell is this thing? This thing is terrifying. Let's fight it. Hey Leon, how you doing? I'll need to check Steam and see. But it's 100 Australian dollars on PlayStation at the moment. Damn it. Oh, Persona 5 is PlayStation only. Well, there you go. $100. I won. I think I need to go, unless I can drop down. Probably not. I do. I have a PlayStation 4 that is gathering dust, and a PlayStation 5. And a PlayStation 3 for when I play Metal Gear Solid 4 and nothing else. Okay, well I'm going to do something. I'm going to do what's called a pro gamer move. Just fly over here. Now, how do we... How am I supposed to get... What? Oh, that's separate as well, so I need to do it from there. Okay, that makes sense. Go around the long way. But my PS5 is going to be a Bloodborne machine. Same with Demon Souls. I got them ready for me. They just waiting. Oh, the deluxe edition. Nice. The deluxe edition is 60% off. Alright. In that case, that's much better. So it's just the standard edition that I checked. The deluxe edition? Oh, there you go. P5 Road Deluxe Edition. Alright, it is, yeah, it's $46. There you go. It's down from 116, so it's $46. There you go. But yeah, it's actually genuinely surprising that they wouldn't do a patch for Bloodborne, or at least have it be 60 frames per second on PS5, like Ghost of Tsushima was, without a patch. I'm under attack. Yeah, well, I mean, the benefit of playing it on the PS5 is that my PS5 is plugged in and my PS4 is gathering dust. Like, there's no reason for me to plug in my PS4, because the PS5 can play both. What I'm gonna do is I probably won't buy Persona 5 today, because I do this on sales often. Is I go, oh wow, great price, and then I buy it, and then I never play it because of my huge backlog, and then by the time that I feel like I might get around to playing it, It's already been on sale like 3 times since then for much cheaper. So... yeah, I think I saw an article. The other day that was talking about the whole PlayStation, Xbox chips shortage thing. That apparently that could potentially be lasting until 2023. that that shortage. Tito, Sekiro will be coming when I got time for it. The focus is going to be Dark Souls 3, naturally. Oops. Oh, accidentally summoned my Chocobo. That's fine. Focus is going to be Dark Souls 3, and then Bloodborne will be next. And then from there, we actually just have to see if... Elden Ring is close to release or not, because see if I can fit in another game, which would either be Sekiro or Demon Souls. Then we're going to play Elden Ring as soon as it releases. Yeah, honestly, and a lot of PlayStation exclusives are coming to PC anyway, like Horizon and Death Stranding and stuff like that. Makes me wonder if they'll do a Ghost of Tsushima on PC. I got lucky with mine because I missed my pre-orders for the PS5 initially when it first dropped, because scalpers and everybody was just furiously ready to click and pick them all up. So I actually ended up securing a pre-order for like early this year when the pre-orders were made available last year. And then I guess they must have done some pretty good sorting out through scalpers and stuff like that, because I ended up getting an email around the time that the console came out that was like, oh, cool, your order's coming in a couple of days. Have fun. I'm like, okay. That came much sooner than expected, so I definitely got lucky. I managed to secure my Series X pre-order, and then, yeah, the PS5 one was just a bit lucky. There was a video that I saw that was released on YouTube recently about the new model of PlayStation 5 that's been released. Like, it's got a different model number, and it actually runs hotter than the previous model. So it's like a little bit of a downgrade, and I think that's probably what is to be expected for them to actually get consoles out. New threat playthrough, the alternate story or the standard story. I just did the new threat story, so I think it's just like whatever that one is, which I think is alternate. Alternate story. I haven't heard anything along those lines, Loof, for Ghost of Tsushima. I've only heard like singing praises. Yeah. I don't know where you would have heard something like that, but Ghost of Tsushima has only ever been singing praises from the high heavens. That game does not have Ubisoft-itis. I take it that was someone who just went, oh, the game has collectibles. Like, you can pat foxes and do shrines and write a poem to get, like, upgrades and stuff, but it's not even necessary. The only things I could think that anyone would come to the conclusion that it's like a Ubisoft style game is the game has an open world map, and there are things that you can collect optionally on that map. It has amazing voice acting, cinematography, gameplay. Like, it doesn't have Ubisoft bugs. So go get him, mister. Oh, and the music stopped. Okay, cool. The tension has now been reduced to nothing. As I fly with my chocobo. But yeah, Pablo, I still need to keep playing my New Threat playthrough. I haven't played it in ages because I switched PCs and then I had to kind of redo everything, and that kind of lost some stuff. So I actually don't even have my original save files. I need to get them off my old PC. I'll get you. Assassination. Great. If you protect me... Spoiler alert, he was not protected. Yeah, the new threat run, unfortunately, it died. For multiple reasons. Recording it was really hard. It was constantly being copyrighted. I changed PCs, so I lost some stuff and I had to like set it all up again. And the amount of effort that I was putting into the New Threat playthrough was too much for everything else that was going on. It was the most challenging Let's Play for me to like record and edit and put together, and nobody was watching it, so it was just like not worth it. Bitmap, thank you so much for tuning in. Frog out. So yeah, as much as I really love Final Fantasy VII, and I would have loved to have played the playthrough to completion, is unfortunately too much effort for nothing in return. So I was like, may as well just play it in my own time off stream where I don't have to worry about copyright and stuff like that. And just figure out Final Fantasy VII or Final Fantasy playthroughs as a whole later. Hey, Mobius. How you doing? Pablo. Which one is it? Which one is it? Nice. I guessed it correctly. See, I knew exactly where I was going. Hey, Strata, thank you so much for the sub for 2 months. It's much appreciated.
Commander Swift has kept us apprised of your recent activities. You've made great strides towards quelling the violence.
Despite our best efforts to determine what provoked this uprising, truth continues to elude us. Have you uncovered aught which might shed some light on the mystery?
This information does not leave this room. The Syndicate's decision to reject the Doman refugees' appeal for asylum had lasting repercussions. A number of those displaced by the Calamity claimed it was proof of a policy of discrimination. Together with a group of Alamegan refugees, they organized a series of demonstrations to protest against the Sultanate. Demonstrations which became heated, but did not descend into violence. Until a certain incident served as a call to arms.
A unit of brass blades sent to supervise a demonstration loosed arrows upon unarmed protesters. It was this atrocity which prompted the refugees to take up arms. I need not tell you what followed.
We assumed at first that the attack was born of a miscommunication. When emotions run high, they happen. But suspicions were raised regarding the unit's commanding officer, whom I ordered interrogated. Sure enough, our fears were soon confirmed. The dog confessed that a merchant had offered him coin to give the order. A merchant in the employ of Teleji Adeleji.
Teleji Adeleji.
Teleji Adeleji.
Teleji Adeleji.
In favor of the Doman's cause, and has ever seemed sympathetic towards the refugees' plight. Why would he do such a thing?
Know you of the Cartano Reclamation Bill? It is a proposal to annex the Cartano Flats so that refugees may establish permanent settlements.
When last I looked, that was disputed territory.
Aye. Some might even call it a battlefield. The destruction wrought by Bahamut was greatest at the Cartano Flats. That much is common knowledge. What is less well known is that his rampage laid bare ancient Alagon ruins, of which no record existed. There are certain differences of opinion as to how these ruins should be handled, which is why each nation maintains a military presence in the region to this day. Yet differ though we may, we are still allies. Therefore, in the interest of preserving the Eorzean alliance, we have reached an agreement. Any conflict which may arise during the course of military exercises in the region shall have no bearing on relations between our nations. In full knowledge of this delicate state of affairs, Teleji Adeleji proposed the Cartano Reclamation Bill.
Teleji Adeleji.
A shameless bloody ruse which stands to benefit him in but one conceivable way. If successful, he will gain control over the disputed territory, under the guise of assisting in the resettlement effort. And you can be sure he'll build an orphanage next to every Allagan ruin.
The man would threaten the unity of the Eorzean alliance and risk countless lives for personal gain.
He walks a path all his own, independent of any faction and beholden to none of his fellows on the Syndicate.
By inciting the less fortunate to violence, he hopes to convince others that the Cartano Reclamation Bill is the only viable solution.
I'm keen for the trial.
Sympathy for the plight of the
Keen for trial.
posturing to gain credibility with the refugees. Of that there can be no doubt.
Forgive me, but what could possibly motivate Teleji Adeleji to go to such lengths?
Teleji Adeleji.
Special about these ruins that he would risk his position on the Syndicate, and, most likely, charges of treason against the Sultanate.
Omega.
Pardon?
An Allagan monstrosity, not unlike the Ultima weapon. Mayhap larger, we know not. It has yet to be fully excavated. Allagan inscriptions indicate that it was created to fell Bahamut himself.
Bahamut.
If accurate, it might explain why Nail Van Darnus chose to bring the Red Moon down upon the Cartano.
Oh, Pablo.
Given the ends he went to ensure Eorzea's annihilation, destroying the one weapon which could stay the Elder Primal may well have seemed like good sense.
When first I bore witness to the power of the Ultima weapon, I doubted the evidence of my senses. And now you tell me there is another such weapon. One which could contend with Bahamut. Bahamut!
Bahamut.
Aye.
Teleji Adeleji.
Truth be told, until the Ultima weapon's existence came to light, we thought the inscription had been mistranslated.
At present, Omega is more akin to a fossil than a tool of war, having long since ceased to function.
Omega Ocelot.
Its true potential cannot accurately be gauged. However, if someone were to restore it, as the Garleans did the Ultima weapon, I have little doubt that he would wield untold power.
Power enough to subjugate Uldar like as not, and the rest of Eorzea besides, which is doubtless why Teleji Adeleji yearns to have it.
Teleji Adeleji.
That he should aspire to world domination. He who has ever walked 2 paces behind Lord Lolorito in matters of commerce.
'Tis in acknowledgement of his own limitations that he seeks this power. Woe betide us all should we allow him to have it.
Pray waste no time chasing rats. Only a fool would believe that secrets can be kept in Uldar.
It would seem the implications of the Sultanate's refugee problem are rather more far-reaching than we assumed.
So we're up to stories we tell, right? Stories we tell. Yeah, we are close to a trial, which is cool. Getting close to a trial. Yeah, you took. I didn't get around to. I think I saw that you mentioned that you did Titan solo. Well done. Didn't get knocked off the platform like me. Like me. Be gone, whelp. This is no place for children. Only Teleji Adeleji can live here. Why did they have to make his name like that? Such a meme. Teleji Adabanumbalan Jeji. No worries, Nuclear Snake. Thank you so much for tuning in. You're pretty good. All pillows OSP, my friend. All pillows OSP. Return to Revenant's Toll with all due haste, for I am Minfilia, and I have a great voice actor. No, not Minfilia. Not Minfilia. Ooh. This is one of my favorites. Because I believe this is the Final Fantasy X. This is the Final Fantasy X Aeon, right? Yeah, baby. Enter the solar, yes. I will enter the solar. Ooh, Palace of the Dead level 50. Interesting. Well, maybe I should wait until I get that quest. Another cutscene awaits. No voice acting for this one. Ooh, or is this going to be Ramuh instead? Hey, Nix. How you doing? Interesting. Who's the primal in this trial, Mobius? Is it Ramuh who we're talking about here, or is it Ixion? You're finally fighting Ramuh. Old chap. Old chap. Okay. Ooh, we're speaking with Carne Center again. Okay. Been a while. Good old chap. Proceed to the Lotus Shard. The Lotus Stand. Let us prepare for another cutscene.
Scions of the Seventh Dawn, on behalf of the people of Gridania, I bid you welcome. Your presence is of great comfort to us all in these days of uncertainty. I summoned you here to share tidings of a most urgent nature. But a short while ago, the great elemental spoke, and his voice was clarion in its intensity. Ramuh is returned unto the forest.
Ooh.
Scarce had his words ceased to echo in mine ears when we were visited by an emissary from Little Solace. Our guest informs us that the Sylphs too have sensed the presence of the Lord of Levin. Though his exact whereabouts remain unknown, we may safely assume that the Primal was summoned within the heart of the Sylphlands. Unlike the other Primals you have encountered, Lord Ramuh is no raging avatar of destruction. He is revered as much for his wisdom as his strength, serving as both arbiter and guardian to his children. Given that we and the Sylphs found a way to share the Twelves Wood, it is my hope that this sagely immortal will be amenable to reason, and that conflict may be avoided. Blessed as you are with the power of the Echo, you are one of the few among us who may commune with a primal without fear of influence.
Among us?
I would ask, therefore, that you represent us in this most delicate of negotiations. The Twelves Wood has suffered enough. Upon this, we and the Sylphs, and I would venture Lord Ramuh himself, are in perfect accord. Let us not endanger our shared home by engaging in unnecessary hostilities. Dear friend, I beseech you, safeguard the peace which exists between our peoples.
Gotcha. NPC RPG nod.
You have my thanks. Pray make for Little Solace, then. A member of the Order of the Twin Adder awaits you there.
Hey,
He
Cloden.
will advise you on how to find the Lord.
It certainly was a powerful moment.
An ill wind blows through the forest. Yet, it is not only the Twelve's Wood that flinches at its coming. All the lands of Eorzea shiver in dread anticipation. Have care.
Thank you. I thank you for the exposition. I take my leave. Goodbye. I will go and get my exposition elsewhere now. Thank you. Corporal Ocelot. That sounds less cooler than Omega Ocelot. I still have the Flying Behemoth. I have multiple... I got multiple mounts. I was just using the Chocobo because I accidentally summoned it as my companion as well. Oh no. A reverse escort mission. Follow the NPC. Oh no, good. I don't have to. Great. Yeah, I love Chocobos in Final Fantasy 15. They're great. Gotta shove those boiled eggs down. Boiled eggs for XP. Maxio. Now speak with Maxio again, okay. Yeah, flying behemoths are so funny. They just swimming. They're just swimming in the air. Oh my god, what is this? What are you doing? Search for the scions, okay. This music is so good. Is the fate related to the... Eh. The Lord of Levin awaits. Dino Crisis is awesome. Yeah, I've done 2 episodes so far. It's really good. A lot of fun getting that classic Resident Evil vibe again, except this time I'm playing it much better than I was playing classic Resident Evil.
Minora betrays thee, servant of hiding.
Hello. Blindness. Fuck yeah. How do you maintain that beard, sir?
Thou art the bringer of light, bane of Ifrit, Titan, Garuda, and Leviathan. I am Ramuh, guardian of the children of the forest. Thou tramplest upon sacred soil, bringer of light. By what right doth man intrude in this sanctuary of the sylphs? The Gridanians proffer peace? Their words are born of delusion, thine offer an insult. Thou speakest of harmony, yet carest not for my children's desires. They did but wish to dwell beneath these boughs in solitude. Yet even that was too much to ask of man. Thus did they turn to me for succor. The sentence I pronounce upon thy kind is just. Redanian or Garlean, it matters not. The good intent of one excuseth not the misdeeds of the other.
Okay, bro.
Thy conflict hath brought naught but anguish and misery unto the forest. All blame doth lie with the darkness that resideth in the breast of man. Whence sprung this calamitous seed? In the beginning no such duality existed. For light and dark given form when man was born. It would explain much. Not least why strife and sorrow follow ever in thy wake. Thou canst not deny the urgings of thine own nature.
That's a tongue twister.
Knowing that thy mere presence here portendeth tragedy, wilt thou persist in this pretense of peacemaking?
The voice actors really have it cut out for them, huh? When they talk about fucking yay old English.
I bestowed upon my wayward charges, that they should entrust so precious a gift to thee. Thou standest apart from thy kin. Thou art the bringer of light, aye. But there is something more in thee. Very well. I shall consider thy proposal. Shouldst thou survive my trial.
Look at that beard, like it is normal and then it just fucking balloons at the bottom.
Of harmony, I must have proof that thou art fit to play the role.
It's got like a beard sack.
Mine ire, and prove to me thereby that thou hast strength enough to stay the darkness which threateneth to consume thee. Yet
Okay.
if thou shouldst be found wanting, know that all men shall perish in the storm of my judgment.
Alright, Mr. Beard Sack. Look, it's so big. Alright, it's trial time.
Come to me, bringer of light. I shall await thee on the field of battle.
On the field of battle.
Eorzea, it is rare indeed to find you so far from a tome.
The Lord of Levin himself. Never till this day had I looked upon his visage, save in painted renderings made faint by time. Ever shall this scene remain etched in my mind's eye, Beg pardon, my lady. I must beg thine aid on a point of research.
Takes off his goggles
Art resolved to
and he's
face
wearing
Lord
glasses.
Ramuh. I would ask thy leave to observe the event.
Nice. Striking tree, now accessible. I'm going to take a quick breakfast break. So I'm just going to eat some food, get some energy in me before we jump into a trial. So I will be right back, and then we will do this trial. So I'll speak to you again in a bit. Okay, let's get back to it. I'm back. Let's continue. The entrance to the striking tree. After forging deep into the Sylph lands, you meet with the intimidating guardian deity of the Sylphs, the primal Ramuh, but before he will consider your proposal of peace, the Lord of Leven first demands proof that you possess the strength required to repel the Empire from the Twelves Wood. The thunderous entity then vanishes in a blinding flash, leaving the words of his challenge yet echoing in your ears. Enter the Primal's domain and prepare to be measured on the scales of battle. Right, I'll wait for Mobius, and then we'll form the party, and we'll jump into the battle. Hey Tim, I'm glad you enjoyed the Berserk videos. They've been great. I've been loving how frequent I've been able to put them out. Enemy needs to stop attacking me. Leven and Impression. What a terrible name for a quest. Alright, are we ready to go? Are we ready to go? Oh, let's see how we go. As we wait. Oh, there's our 4 DPSs. We need 1 healer and 1 more tank, and then we're ready to go. Surprisingly enough, DPSs have filled up the party first. Where's my revolver not even attacking? It's a sleepy Final Fantasy 14 dungeon queue. There we go. Let's go. Let's go. A light party. There we go. I was like, what the hell? Full party, baby. Very loud. Time to fight the beard. Yeah, this music is epic as hell, Dex. God damn. Let's go, Ramuh. Damn, this music is wild. I'm in a lightning ring. Yep, okay. Never mind. I'm gonna get attacked no matter what. Is there a way to avoid getting thunderstorms? You just gonna have to take it. This music is insane. Oh, and I'm dead. Why am I being targeted? Leave me alone. I can't move. I cannot move, for I have been stunned. I can't move. I am busted. When you're just completely paralyzed, apparently. Oh, I can move again. Here. Oh my god. This is insane. Yeah, this is the first time fighting the beard. No, that dude ran the thunder. Oh, I avoided that thunderbolt because it was the ring was around someone else, and then they just ran right next to me. My bad. I should have backed out of that one. Oh. Cool. The beard has been defeated. They don't hold back on the trial music, do they? It's insane. So good. That was cool.
I have taken thy measure, bringer of light.
That's right, I'm better than you. Beard versus beard. My beard was superior.
And I judge thee a worthy champion. The task of excising the sin that hath taken root in man's heart is thine. Shrink not from employing thy strength in service to the forest and the wider realm beyond. Like hungering shadows do the enemies of harmony gather, and meekness will but feed them. If man is to be delivered from the dark, it shall be by thy guiding light alone. Stray not from the path, for if thou dost, thy people shall be truly lost.
Thou hast slain the Lord of Levin. A regrettable act, but a necessary one. In witnessing thy struggle, a truth hath been revealed unto me. If I mistake not, it may yet prove a chink in the eternal armor of the Ascians.
Ethan, thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoyed the playthrough.
Let us conclude our present business. I shall expound upon my findings at the Rising Stones anon.
Definitely a moment in history, that one, that playthrough. My favorite. It was such a magical experience. Okay. Report to the Serpent Lieutenant. There you are. Yes. Back to the Lotus Stand we go. Hey, Kasumi. Welcome to the stream.
You are returned to us, dear friend, and none the worse for bearing the heavy burden which I did press upon you. Most glad am I of this. I am informed that your efforts to negotiate a peace.
Ethan, thank you so much for gifting a sub to Sanacraft.
What befell?
Much appreciated.
Ramuh made trial of you? I fear there is truth to his claim. It is the darkness within us that attracts the darkness without. It cannot be denied that misfortune follows man. For evidence, one need only look to the conflict brewing in Cartano, or to the rising flood of refugees. Our shared struggle against the Empire should have served to seal our union. Yet the ties which bind the Alliance strain under the weight of gross self-interest.
Hey, Kasumi. Thank you so much for the resub. For the 2 months.
As the scars of the calamity begin to fade, so too does our sense of common purpose. Yet now is scarce the time to forget our shared responsibility. If this new-sprung realm is to survive beyond its infancy, it must needs be nurtured by all. Eorzea must be as one. Yet I fear that dream is still far off.
Yeah, we're like halfway through the patches on our way to Heaven's Ward, so this is patch 2.3. We've got 2.4 and then 2.5, 2.55 to go.
I thank
And then we'll be at Heaven's Ward.
that you and your fellow scions have done. Full oft have I been compelled to look to you for aid of late, and offered all too little in return. As leader of this nation, I shall endeavor to prove a more worthy ally to your cause henceforth.
I think that's the difference between when Final Fantasy does like high fantasy and then more like modern or like a sci-fi Final Fantasy.
Voices of the forest, pray speak and I shall listen. What unseen evil begets this unease in my heart?
Yeah, Kasumi, it's right. Like, people go, you're at the beginning. It's like, yes, after 50 hours, I'm at the beginning still. But I liked all of the Final Fantasy releases, even the most recent two. So I like both like the modern take on the Final Fantasy and also high fantasy. So Final Fantasy 16, which is the single player one, Tim, is going to look like this as well. So it's got the same director. So if you're looking to get into a single player Final Fantasy that looks like this, Final Fantasy 16 is going to have that one covered. PlayStation's doing a showcase soon, and Tokyo Game Show is also soon, so perhaps we might even get a Final Fantasy 16 release date. That might be nice. I'm kind of hoping that we get some news on Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 as well. Hopefully. But we'll see how we go. And then everybody can go crazy with their rumors of Silent Hill and Metal Gear Solid coming back once again. Once again. Oh yeah, God of War Ragnarok, my god, yeah. Ooh, baby. God of War Ragnarok's gonna be day one on this channel. It'll be day one on YouTube, baby. My favorite game of 2018, for sure. Can't wait for more of that ye old English in Final Fantasy 16. He doth protrudeth into my room, my chamber. Do doth think thy capable of tuning into my Papalimo? Yeah. What little gods are made of.
If everyone is ready, let us begin. Eorzea, the floor is yours.
As all here assembled now know, in its final hours as our Order's headquarters, the Waking Sands did play host to a most unexpected visitor. I speak of the Ascian clad in white, Elidibus. Unwelcome though his presence was, his words that day did serve to confirm a truth long suspected, that the Ascians are eternal beings, to whom physical destruction is as a temporary inconvenience.
In the intervening time, Eorzea and I have striven to discover a means by which the Ascians might more permanently be slain.
And 'tis my belief that we have found the thread that will allow us to unravel the twisted skein of their existence. In the moments prior to Leviathan's most recent manifestation, the Sahagin elder who summoned him was observed to undergo some manner of ascension. The etheric readings taken by Y'shtola at the time of this transfiguration have proven most enlightening.
The disruption to the flow of ether was sudden and dramatic. So tangible was the agitation, I scarce had need of my goggles.
The significance of Y'shtola's readings might better be understood in the context of mine own, taken at the instant of the Lord of Levin's demise. Unlike the Primal, the Sahagin was not subject to etheric dissipation.
Before discussing our new discoveries, it may benefit us all to recall what we know of etheric behavior. Let us begin at what some might call the end. When we who dwell in the material realm die, our spirits dissolve into the flow of ether and are returned to the ethereal realm.
To the live stream!
In turn, the restless energy which suffuses that plane streams back into our world, giving rise to new life.
Come on, Minfilia, why do you have to be the one to do this cutscene?
'Tis as the heavens did decree, the way of all mortal souls.
I think you're thinking of Final Fantasy Origins Sanacroft. That one probably looks more like Devil May Cry. Final Fantasy 16 doesn't.
The cycle of birth, death, and rebirth continue unabated.
Primals behave somewhat differently. In order to manifest and then maintain a physical presence in this realm, they must consume vast quantities of ether.
This feels like a school presentation on the whiteboard, and they're like, "Look here at Ifrit."
Thus, a defeated primal leaves behind no broken corpse. Rather, the essence of its form seeps back into the land whence it came, and the energy of its shattered spirit is called back to the ethereal realm.
And there it waiteth, till next the prayers of the faithful do draw it forth from the sea of ether, to take their offering of crystals and make for itself a new body.
Sometimes the voice acting just sounds like such a meme, like it sounds like, I have to read this shit?
On to the third group, the so-called immortals. They exist in a manner all their own.
I must waiteth?
Quite. Even as the Sahagin elder fell to the Admiral's musket shot, I witnessed the release of an ethereal cloud, which immediately took possession of a nearby minion.
A soul that dissipateth not upon the death of the flesh.
The secret of life everlasting, and in the claws of a Sahagin no less. But I wonder, what would happen to one of these obstinate spirits should there be no suitable host for it to claim?
If mortal death entails a return to the ethereal realm, it seems doubtful that the soul of an immortal would venture there.
Nay, it merely withdraweth the distance, unto the shore of the ethereal sea, perchance, but no further.
We really haven't seen enough of Final Fantasy 16 to like come to that
Yes,
conclusion,
it
though.
exists in neither this realm nor the next, abiding instead in the space that lies between them.
It's just going to be an action RPG. That's what we've seen from the gameplay, but the art style, direction, and like the world is all classic Final Fantasy for sure.
Serves as a gateway to the place
No doubt.
just described.
I was hoping people had forgotten about that.
I am sorry, my friend.
For a mercy, the weary road of our research hath brought us unto an answer.
Yeah, Gideon Emery is a good voice actor, but like not as Eorzea.
Flee this realm.
He was so good as Balthier in Final Fantasy 12.
If we could entrap the spirits of defeated Ascians in like manner, and thereby deny them resurrection.
Good night, everybody. Sleepy time. Good night. Sleepy exposition time.
Therein lieth the path to victory. Thou art most perceptive, my lady. Only
Thou art.
trap the bodiless soul within an ethereal prison can we hope to defeat its unnatural constancy. Thus might even an eternal paragon be consigned to oblivion.
These feats are, of course, far easier said than done. At present, we lack a viable means to entrap and extinguish an Ascian soul. Yet, I believe it to be possible. The pieces of the puzzle lie before us. We have but to put them together.
These are the only moments of Final Fantasy XIV where I'm like bored. Is cutscenes that involve Minfilia
At once to convene with the sages of Sharlayan.
and Eorzea.
Together shall we
Urianger.
devise the steps by which our goals may be achieved.
Eorzea.
I have the utmost faith in you, Archon.
The cutscenes do not have to be so lengthy just to say we need to kill their souls, man. Trap
Beg
them in a
pardon,
soul prison.
antecedent, but I would raise one final matter. Even now, a Sharlayan survey party seeketh to ascertain the fate of the students of Baldessian. Their findings shall soon be known to us. Though you harbor feelings of dread, I bid you surrender not to sorrow, but abide instead in hopeful prayer.
I shall, Archon. Thank you.
You guys can have this conversation later in private without me if you want. Thank you guys. No Minfilia and Urianger cutscenes, please. They put me to bed. Ooh, if this ain't the most Organization 13 shit I've ever seen in my life. Kingdom Hearts intensifies. This is literally Kingdom Hearts. And in the middle, Xehanort. Evil Okay, Organization 13. Ooh, materia, baby. I think you're thinking of Barrett from Final Fantasy VII Remake, who was wearing sunglasses. Or you might be thinking of... no, the only one wearing sunglasses was in Final Fantasy VII Remake. I don't know if there was anyone in Final Fantasy 15. Well, Ignis didn't wear sunglasses until later in the game. He wore normal glasses, so... If you're talking about Ignis, I think Ignis is probably the opposite of a Chad, though. Yeah, that is Final Fantasy 15. They start the game pushing the card. The blonde one's Prompto. He doesn't have glasses, though. But yeah, that is Final Fantasy 15. Ignis, okay. Ignis is fine. He's actually a really likable character. I've come up with a new recipe. I actually like the dynamic of the characters in Final Fantasy 15. It was a nice change of pace from what we've had before. Just like 4 dudes on a road trip adventure. It's just unfortunate that Final Fantasy 15 was like 2 or 3 different games at once, so tonally it's a bit all over the place. There's problems that I have with that game. But I waited literally half of my life at the time for that game to come out. Like, it was announced when I was like 11 years old, and it came out when I was when I was 21. Like, I waited half my life for that game, way back when it was announced as Final Fantasy Versus 13. It's just like one of those games that has such an intense amount of potential. Such an intense amount of potential. Especially with like the world and the lore of that game, and it unfortunately falls short. I mean, it had a pretty crazy development. And then a reset in development, and then they just rushed it out. It wasn't in dev hell. It was just Square Enix being Square Enix and announcing games way too early, because they announced Final Fantasy Versus 13 alongside Final Fantasy 13, and then they also did Agito 13. They were like, this is our cool thing, our project called Nova Crystallis, and we're gonna have all of these cool games take place in like with the similar like lore and stuff like that, but they'll be in separate stories, so they'll have like the same sort of like gods and religion and like themes, blah blah blah. And then Final Fantasy 13 kept happening. Final Fantasy Agito 13 ended up getting cancelled / reshuffled, and then that ended up becoming Final Fantasy Type O, which was a Japanese exclusive PSP game, which then eventually got released in HD on console and brought into English. And then Final Fantasy Versus 13 essentially was in concept stage. They hadn't worked on it. They weren't doing anything. It was all concept for years because nothing was happening. And then development started for a while, and it got to around the time of it was 2013, and they effectively took Nomura off of Final Fantasy Versus 13, his baby, and said, you go work on something else. You're working on Kingdom Hearts 3 now. We're going to give Tabata Versus 13, we're going to rename it Versus, we're going to rename it 15, and it's coming to the PS4. And the game that they announced was awesome. The game that they showed, the trailer was like insane. And then that game evolved and changed over the course of those few years, and then they released something. They released something. They were definitely pushing for a release. They didn't want to like keep it in development hell any longer. It wasn't really in development hell. It was rushed development. When they picked it up as Final Fantasy 15. And then they ended up cancelling DLC and moving on from 15 completely, and that hurts even more, because 15 has a good dedicated fan base. Like it's a good game, but it could have been so much better. 7 Remake is perfect. I think 7 Remake is perfect. It is the best work that Square Enix has done in such a long time, not including like what Final Fantasy 14 is doing right now. I'm talking about like single player Final Fantasy. It's the best thing that they've done in so long. You can tell that blood, sweat, and tears, and probably many other fluids, have been poured into creating that game and the project that's, still going. The attention to detail, the understanding of the original characters, retaining their identities was so important. Because in the compilation of Final Fantasy VII, like Dirge of Cerberus, Crisis Core, all that kind of Advent Children, all that kind of stuff, the characters are different. The characters are different in small ways sometimes, and in big ways other times. They just the characters act differently, the way that they speak, all that kind of stuff, their mannerisms, and not to mention some crazy ass story decisions. But the original remake really just shows you that they're like, no, we have put such an effort in to capture how these characters are supposed to feel, like their personality traits, how they talk. The voice acting's incredible. Like the voices are perfect for the characters. And it was a good decision for them to bring in a entirely new voice cast to separate ourselves from the previous entries of the 7 universe. The music is absolutely insane. Nobuo Uematsu is a master of his craft. So I'm very excited to see the remake eventually completed. But I think they're doing an amazing job. And the Yuffie DLC had me fall in love with Yuffie. Like, she's such a great character, and I did not care for her at all in the original 7. As a huge fan of the original 7, Yuffie was I just never cared about Yuffie. And I think they made her character amazing in her DLC. And yeah, Mobius, I think we did lose Pablo. That's okay. Pablo chilled with us for a bit. Look at that mount. Goddamn. Goddamn. It's bright out here. Look at this. Seath the Scaleless been chilling out here. Look at that. So what's this? Here in the middle. Oh, an instant solo scenario. I think that's the corpse of a dragon. Look at that. That's just chilling out in the middle here. That's amazing. The whole crystal thing here is wild. Well, Final Fantasy VII, the starting world that you're in, of Midgar, you're only in the original game. You're only in that area for the first like 5 hours of the original game, and then it goes open world, and then off you go into beautiful environments and all these unique locations and stuff like that. So, the original Final Fantasy VII is gorgeous. They just decided to make the first part of the Final Fantasy VII remake entirely set in Midgar, and I can see why they did it, but I'm excited for the rest of the game now. Oh, this is, yeah, okay. Yeah, this is the part of the game where I need to, alright. Let me disband the party. It's a solo fight. Mr. Boulder. Win the sparring match. Come on, Hori Boulder. I'm gonna fuck you up. What the fuck? Wait. That's unfair. You're gonna join the fight, huh? Kicking you out of here. You lose. Oh my god, everything's doing 0. Why are you like this? Okay, cool. There we go. Goodbye. Elder Scrolls 16? You're a time traveler. What's their other game? Starfield? Starfield's coming out next year, right? So if Starfield comes out next year, I'd say Elder Scrolls 6 is probably 2024 to 2025. They announced it way too early because they were getting tired of everyone going, where's Elder Scrolls? So they went, fuck it, we're working on it. But now you're not going to see it for ages. Which is not what Bethesda like to do. Remember how long we waited for Fallout 4? And then they announced it, and then they said, oh yeah, it's coming out the end of the year. That was the most epic thing ever. That was the amount of emotions that I was filled with. Like, it made me so happy. Like, Bethesda coming out on stage and going, here's Fallout 4. Like, it doesn't matter about the whole it just works meme and how you feel about the game in general and all of that kind of stuff, because it's a good game. It has issues, but you cannot deny how fucking great it was for them to walk out on stage and go, Fallout 4 exists finally. It's coming out at the end of the year and here's a full showcase on it. Like, that kind of stuff is unmatched. But everyone forced their hand to go, Elder Scrolls 6 when? And they went, okay, fine, here, let's acknowledge its existence. But you're not going to see it for years. So now everyone's just like, God damn it, Skyrim again? 10th anniversary of Skyrim? Like, they should have just done the same approach that they did with Fallout 4. Just be quiet about it. To be fair, however, Fallout 4 came out... what was it? How many years after Fallout 3? Because as much as I want to count Fallout New Vegas, I'm just trying to talk about Bethesda only. I think Fallout 3 was 2008, and then Fallout 4 came out in 2015, wasn't it? 2015? So it was like 7 years. And then, so this has taken, it's been 10 years of Skyrim. So you can understand. There really should have been an Elder Scrolls 6 by now. I do like agree with that. I have the Legendary Edition, or whatever it's called, Special Edition of Skyrim that they released on Xbox One and PS4. So I have that, and I'm fine with that. And I also bought Skyrim VR on sale, because I would like to make a funny video about playing Skyrim in VR one day. Because it should be interesting. But I'm not going to buy another remaster. I'm perfectly happy just playing a normal... The version that I have. I don't need Skyrim to look like a PlayStation 7 experience with mods. Skyrim's fine. Like, just wait for Elder Scrolls 6, which will look nice. And then hopefully the game comes out while Shirley Curry is still alive, so Shirley Curry can play the game, because they're putting her in the game, which I think's cool. But goddamn if they release it before she passes. It's pretty crazy how Skyrim's gotten multiple remasters. Like, multiple multiple remasters and all of that kind of attention. And like, where's our Fallout 3? Where's our Fallout 3 Legendary Edition? Can they release Fallout 3 on PC so it actually works with Windows 10 instead of Steam needing to have a warning that says, hey, this game only doesn't work that well on future Windows OSs, and you need to fucking jump some hoops, you know? Jump through hoops. So it's just like, why not just release a special edition of Fallout 3 so it actually works on PC properly? But they probably don't want to. They probably cannot be bothered going back to an old game and trying to fix it. They can't even fix their current games. Isn't the Anniversary Edition just like, hey, it's the game for next generation consoles and you get Creation Club points or something? It's just like all the mods or something? The Bethesda approved mods? I have a lot of feelings on that as well. That was kind of like an unfortunate time where they had like, you know, mods for ages, and they're like, oh, if you put mods on console, it's going to disable achievements or whatever, blah, 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 and that's fine. And then they were like, oh, we'll have like Bethesda approved mods that you can still do that stuff with. And then they did the whole Creation Club thing, and they're like, now you can pay for mods. And it's just like, oh, that's just so weird. Just give mods back to the people. Give mods back to the people. Mods are so much more fun when you're supporting like other gamers and other creators, and not like, ooh, I'm paying money for this mod, because then that's effectively just DLC. It's just like developer DLC. It's just like if you're buying skins or something that the developer has made and they're selling it as a mod, that's just DLC. Oh, you get all these skins and like these weapons and stuff that are Bethesda approved. I'm like, cool, yeah, that's DLC. But if someone else in like the gaming community made it all, it's different. I remember the whole drama when Bethesda were trying to monetize mods ages ago, and it had such a kickback that they instantly reversed their decision. But it looks like they managed to kind of force their hand and push the Creation Club through, so they could still manage to make it work, you know. Scout for potential recruits in the upper decks. I love Gridania. You know why I love Gridania? Because it's just so easy. Gridania is easy. It's easy to navigate. Limsa, Laminsa, and Udal are just like so complicated. There's too many levels. There's too many levels. Yeah, like I'm not a fan of the whole not a fan of the whole Creation Club thing. Just release DLC. Yeah. Like, the last time I played Skyrim properly all the way through was on Xbox 360. And that was nice. That was a good time. That was my one time through Skyrim. And I've played the special edition that I have on Xbox One for a little while as well, because I was like getting an urge to play it. And then I just put it down. There are people that have played it obsessively, still play it to this day, like, and will continue to play it for ages. And that's good for them. Like, Skyrim is a great game. It's just such a meme now, like, for most people, because it's just like, it's crazy. But there's no denying it's a good game. It's that popular and that successful for a reason. It's that popular with the modding community for a reason. Like, it's fine. And one day I'll also certainly enjoy replaying it, because it's been a really long time. But not anytime soon. I got a lot of other things to play. Still need to finish the DLC for Fallout 4. Like, I have the season pass, but I never got around to actually finishing that stuff. Fallout 4 made the mistake of having a voice-acted protagonist with a dialogue wheel, when it should have just stayed as it was. I'll probably install a few mods for Skyrim VR, because apparently you kind of need to improve the experience, so I'll probably do that. So you really think, like, Daggerfall, like the original Daggerfall and like stuff like that, is stronger than Skyrim? I like Oblivion the best, but this is also coming from someone who hasn't played Morrowind yet. I've only played Oblivion and Skyrim, so I can't really give much of an opinion. But I do really like Oblivion. And speaking of that, like, they did so many Skyrim Legendary Editions and stuff like that. Where's my Oblivion anniversary? Where's the Oblivion anniversary? This is why I'm so keen for Sky Oblivion to come out. Looks like it'll be just damn good. But we'll see how we go. Whew. I mean, yeah, kind of Oblivion would play similar, yeah, to Skyrim. Kind of still have that same sort of thing going for them, except Oblivion has like just this amazing feel to it. Very good personality. Yeah, Skyrim is insanely accessible. I always really like seeing stuff that, like, something that just makes me happy about it anyway, is I really like seeing stuff that's fantasy in the mainstream. I love seeing the stuff that's in fantasy in the mainstream. Like, let's forget about season 8 of Game of Thrones. Like, how like amazing was Game of Thrones being such a mainstream popular thing in fantasy? And also like Lord of the Rings even back then as well. And so Skyrim being as popular as it is, like even to people who don't really game that much and they pick up Skyrim and they get lost in the world and they really love it. It's like really nice stuff. So like I love that. Like, people can hate on like casual gaming or casual gamers all they want, but like I love the fact that fantasy can be mainstream and very accessible. Because it's not some fucking elite gatekeepy thing with fantasy. Like it's a lot of that stuff, even like Dungeons and Dragons and all of that is viewed in a much better light now than it used to be. You know, people don't get the shit beaten out of them now for being nerds like they would have like 20-30 years ago. You know, it's things have changed in a very positive way in that regard. Hey Tux, how you doing? To be fair, Nords don't like magic. Well, there you go. They were sticking true to the law. Oh, man. Why are they making me do this? They're making me run around the area to recruit people. Yeah, we're in 2.3. We're in 2.3 at the moment, Tux. Patch 2.3. I haven't been able to stream for a while, so we haven't really been able to play. So otherwise I probably would be at Heaven's Ward by now if my previous streams were able to go ahead correctly. Be excited to play Morrowind finally. And as much as Elder Scrolls Online is, you know, it's an online game and how people feel about playing online compared to single player is completely valid, but I think Elder Scrolls Online seems to do a really good job catering to its fan base, and it's doing really well. Like, they did their whole Morrowind expansion and they're going to all these places. They're doing a Skyrim one at the moment, I think. Like, every time I look at that game's updates, I'm like, oh, they've released like this many expansions since I last checked it out. Like, Elder Scrolls Online is crazy with how much content there is in that game, which means I'll never play it. Because there's so much. I've actually had a few people leave comments asking me to do a Skyrim playthrough, which I find very interesting. Like, there are still people out there that would want to watch someone play through Skyrim. And that's the funny thing is, like, with Skyrim is, like, most people just play through the game and, like, free roam the hell out of it and just do a bunch of side quests and they're like, what main quest? Who's Parthenax? Who's Alduin? But yeah, I got, like I said, I've got the I've got Skyrim VR because I wanted to make like a funny video. on playing it. I have so many VR games that I want to do some videos on, but it just takes time I don't have at the moment, but hopefully eventually. I was also very happy to finish Secret of Katarina's questline. It was one of the best moments in video games for me. I was like, I cannot believe this is happening right now. It was absolutely mind-blowing. So good. Yeah, I started playing Elder Scrolls Online when it very first came out because I had a couple of friends and we were all like, yeah, we're going to play this game together, and then they all stopped playing, and then I was like, this game kind of boring on my own, so I will stop playing. You've never finished the main story of Skyrim, Pablo? And there you go, that's exactly what I was talking about. Because people are like, yeah, I played this game for hundreds, thousands of hours. What main quest? No idea what you're talking about. Wasn't Doom 3 VR officially released for PlayStation VR MGS? But if there's a PC version, then I'll have to take a look, because Doom 3 is cool. I haven't played Doom 3 in so long, but that was my first Doom game. Scared the shit out of me. Because I, at that point in time, I was but a teen, an early teen, who hated horror games, which is why it's taken me so long to play anything that's like horror related. So I was like, no thank you. Too spooky for me. I still think about getting a PlayStation VR headset so I could do Resident Evil 7 VR as well, but again, that's money I don't necessarily have right now to buy a whole PlayStation VR just because for 2 games. I'd like to play through the original Doom games and Doom 64 and stuff like that. I have them on my console. I got them installed. I also need to finish Doom Eternal. I need to finish Doom Eternal. God damn it. Yeah, that's the thing. If they do another PlayStation VR for the PS5, that's what I'll consider, and then hopefully that'll be backwards compatible with PS4 VR games. So I'll wait. I'll be patient. They're certainly working on something. It's a shame Xbox are deciding not to do much, if anything, in the VR space yet. Like, because they were talking about all their fucking HoloLens stuff. Talking about all their HoloLens stuff, and then that turns out it wasn't actually for gaming and whatever, but I'd love to see them actually do some stuff. Well, the reason why I stopped with Doom Eternal was I was doing a playthrough of it early last year, around March, but my Elgato kept giving me issues with the recording, so I was just like losing a lot of my footage playing it, and then it just kind of, that really disappointed me, and then I just stopped playing it. But I should revisit it, because I was playing it on ultra violence difficulty and it was fun. But Doom 2016, when I picked up Doom 2016 and started playing that, I couldn't put it down. I could not put that game down. And that speaks volumes for its quality. It speaks volume for its community. God, they really went, hey, let's do multiple quests in a row where you recruit the realm. You just run around previous areas and talk to people. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of variety, like a lot of variety. There's a lot of stuff that's kind of the same. It's really, yeah. There's so many games, not enough time. Especially if you're someone that has like varied tastes. Like if you're into a lot of different types of games and genres like I am, it's even more painful. Like there are people who just like to play shooters. Or people who just like to play RPGs, and they stick to their genre, and that's what they enjoy. And like, it's the curse of actually being able to enjoy so many different like genres. I'm just like, oh my god. I think if there was there was one genre that I could play and nothing else, it would be RPGs though. I'd very comfortably only play RPGs if that was like a choice that I had to make. Are we good now, Alphanod? We don't have to recruit anyone else. The Sultana. Our first wave of recruitment. Oh no. Only the first wave? Nice. Automatically going back home. There we go. We haven't seen Sid in so long. Speaking of an airship. There you go. See an airship? We haven't seen Sid in so long. We last saw him, he just like was there for this, you know, the ending of A Realm Reborn, and then he just has disappeared. He's off he goes. No more Sid.
Tell me, General, what think you of Alfino's bold endeavor?
I think it is more than bold, Your Grace. His organization would pave the way for a united Eorzea. Well do I understand his impatience, since facing the common threat of the Ultima weapon, our nations have seemed farther apart, not closer together. Considering the many problems we face, should we not be glad that someone else is taking the initiative?
We have all pledged our cooperation, yet the grumbling continues behind closed doors. Ul'dah is not alone in her duplicity. I myself have doubts as to the good this organization will achieve. With the inclusion of the finest soldiers of the 3 grand companies, it promises to be a fearsome military body. But whom will it serve? Even under the watchful gaze of the Scions, it is not unthinkable that such a force could perpetrate a great wrong. Does it not concern you that a significant proportion of its financial backing came from the coffers of the Syndicate? That those unprincipled worms might forge this extraordinary gathering of warriors into a private army?
I have trust in the Scions, Your Grace. They have spared us no end of trouble at the hands of the Primals. If they seek reinforcements, I deem it unwise to deny them. As for their finances, full many gave generously. And though our nobles proffered a sizable sum, their coin did not spill from the pockets of Lolorito and his cronies.
Lolorito!
And what of the presence of our stalwart adventurer friend in this endeavor? I doubt the Warrior of Light would betray our cause.
Probably Final Fantasy VII, Ethan. It's a nice and easy one to call my favorite.
Yet I have known people to change. Whether we will or no, the events of the age hurl us this way and that, like a dust devil skipping across the sands. Cannot be done about Telechi?
Telechi? What's her name?
I have explored all avenues available to us, Your Grace. But as Ul'Dan law now stands, we lack the evidence to convict him of any crime. To arrest him on spurious grounds would only play into his hands.
Lala felt angry.
He has all but committed treason, and yet we can do nothing? Then what good our government? What worth the royal house? How deplorable this mockery of justice!
Good night, everybody. I'm just waiting for this dude to, like, pick her up again. Put, like, her on his arm. Like, hold her on the shoulder. Final Fantasy definitely isn't for everyone. But there are some really good games in this series that can really appeal to wider audiences than some of them. Final Fantasy VII is definitely one of those. Get out of the doorway. Get out of the doorway. Oh my god. I fucking hate this shit sometimes. Like, they should just allow me to click on the entire door. People stand right in the way of the thing I need to click on. Patch 2.3 has certainly been a little bit of sleepy time. 2.2 was really good because like Leviathan and that whole thing was awesome, and like the build up to that was great. 2.3 is like a lot of those cutscenes with the characters that talk a lot, with a lot of exposition that like doesn't need to be said as much. They really just go, let's just give you all of the exposition and then walk for 2 minutes, and then here's more exposition. yeah, Final Fantasy VII is just really fun to play, and I enjoy the story, so I'm still able to like skip through most of it that I know off by heart. But the remasters and re-releases certainly make it easier to play through them with like the speed up function and like stuff like that. I'll be excited to play Final Fantasy VI for the first time eventually. I haven't played any Monster Hunter games before, so I am not familiar with the franchise at all, actually. My opinion on this game so far as a whole is like this. I think this game's like awesome. This game's amazing. It's been really fun. It's kept me playing. There's a lot to do. There's like a lot that I'm ignoring to do for the main story. Like you can totally get lost in this game with the sheer amount of content it has. Like good game. It has some boring filler moments that kind of want me to sleep. And I feel like those are problems that are only really at the beginning of the game. I think they're only at like the beginning of the game. Like A Realm Reborn stuff. And when they're just like doing filler stuff in these patches.
The incident with the new frontier hands?
Like fighting Leviathan and Ramuh has been great. Like new primals is awesome.
With no small amount of interest. Brave men.
But a lot of the story is just like
they do our nation
sleepy.
A great service. The existence of a fortified outpost in Mordona will do much to dissuade the Empire from trespassing on Kurthus soil. Right glad am I that you have chosen to lend your support to this.
Right glad am I.
But let it be said that House Fortom does not acknowledge the efforts of her allies, or her debts. 'Twas in the spirit of gratitude that I arranged for sundry supplies to be delivered to Revenant's Toll. That the shipment should chance to be waylaid by heretics is poor fortune indeed. Poor fortune, I say, yet not without precedent. If you would know the truth of it, these incorrigible villains grow more organized with each passing day. This new unity of purpose we attribute to their leader, the Lady Iceheart. But though I have devoted
Lady Iceheart
resources to the task of identifying this woman, we have yet to learn so much as her birth name. What we do know is that the heretics speak of Iceheart in reverent tones, and would gladly embrace death rather than betray her. Such loyalty is rare indeed, and I fear to imagine what so committed a collective might achieve. The brigands have not yet been so brazen as to risk direct confrontation here in Dragonhead. Some few of their number have, however, been sighted not far to the west of here, and with ever-increasing regularity. A visit to Whitebrim Front may bring you the answers you seek. Will you brave the snows, knowing what implacable foes may lie in wait?
What have you been spending your money on, Mobius?
Halone's blessings be upon you. Though I take no pride in the admission, many of mine own countrymen are not so well suited as you adventurers to dealing with such foes. Were they dragons, it might be otherwise. But truly, I could not wish for a finer ally. You have done much for my house in the past, and I have no doubt but that I shall have cause to celebrate your deeds again ere long. Should you learn aught of value, pray return to me forthwith. A warm hearth and a warmer welcome shall be waiting for you.
Thank you. Oh yeah, true. Yeah, I'm chilling out. I got a decent amount of gil going on at the moment, so I'm chill. But yeah, teleporting is all I buy, pretty much. Okay, it's not the merchant that I'm talking to. In here. Oh. In here. God damn it. Upstairs. Okay. Polar bear for the snowy weather, baby. Hey, Credler, thank you so much for the sub, by the way. Did not even hear the alert go off. There's a party over there. Ooh, hello. Hello. Mysterious woman. Mysterious. I do love back and forthing. Yeah, so many quests to set up Heaven's Sword. enter from the top instead. Just teleport. Yeah, whenever, like, I kind of wish that whenever it was like, oh, go here, and it's just a cutscene, and then you go back, and I just kind of wish that, like, I know that it's not going to do it, but I'll be like, it'd be great. It would be great if I didn't have to travel there and travel back myself. But you gotta do it. So now we are in another cutscene.
Your return is most timely. Of their own accord, my thoughts had turned to your task and the progress thereof. I confess, my imaginings tended toward the grim and bloody. But you are here now, and I suspect such frivolous wonderings do little justice to the reality of your travails. Tell me, what did you learn of Iceheart?
Travails instead of just saying travels. There was a mysterious woman.
And this transpired at Snowcloak? Of all the highlands, that towering wall has borne the worst of the region's brutal shift in climate. So inhospitable has Snowcloak become that we have still to survey the area in its entirety. Could its frozen heights conceal the heretics' hideaway? Mayhap a more robust reconnaissance effort is in order.
Yeah, I love the Final Fantasy VII squads too.
Putting such considerations aside for the moment, we still know far too little of this Iceheart. That she is capable of commanding such a band of fanatics bespeaks natural authority, and no small measure of charisma. As much as I would like to fathom this mystery with you, the situation has grown beyond my personal purview. I am bound by duty to inform the Temple Knights and request that they bring this matter to its conclusion. Giving the glowing reports the new commander has garnered thus far, I am certain that they can be relied upon to take appropriate action. Though Iceheart's true identity yet eludes us, you have provided us with a point from which to begin. Sometimes it takes but a single stone to prompt an avalanche. On the matter of the stolen provisions, I have already made arrangements for a second shipment to be sent to Revenant's Toll. I could not well allow such an honorable venture to be undermined by one miserable setback.
After this quest, there's one more, which is called Brave New Companions, and then that is the end of patch 2.3. So there's one more quest to do after this. Yeah, Silent Hill not being on the PlayStation Classic, like that mini PlayStation, is so weird. Because they put Metal Gear Solid on there. You'd think that they would have put Silent Hill on there. That was an odd system. But then again, you can just like, they're quite hackable. Because it's funny that, you know, PlayStation and Nintendo and stuff is like, emulation. How dare they? and that yet the PlayStation Mini literally runs on ePSXe. Like, it's like, okay. They're just doing ROMs themselves anyway, but like much worse than what it can be done on the internet. But people have like been able to do it with the like the Nintendo Minis and stuff and the PlayStation, that they can just go and be like, cool, you want to have more games on there? No problem. Like you can get almost every single Super Nintendo game on the SNES Mini if you're smart enough. Like, there were some games on there that are like, well, of course you're going to have that game, but then there were other ones where it's like, why don't you have that game on there? It doesn't make sense. Do I wish to lend a hand? I mean, would you be a dear and hand these uniforms to the new recruits? Yes. Sure, I am a brave warrior of light. I'm a brave warrior of light, and I would gladly... I'll gladly give out a bunch of uniforms. Why me? You have so many people in the 7th Scions to walk around and give out uniforms, and you choose me, the one who the Primal Slayer. You choose me. Take it. Put on your clothes. Never speak to me again. Sell the uniforms for profit. Be like, haha! Sold! Keep accidentally pressing C instead of D and pulling up my character. Stop. Like, the developers really said, yep, let's make this the last quest of patch 2.3. End it with, hey, can you handle the uniforms out to people? Cool, thanks. That's all you're good for. see what Alphanard has to say.
Comrades, your presence here this day signifies the momentous choice that
Certainly has a lot of voice acting for this patch as well, which is interesting.
With your strength now pledged to the scions of the Seventh Dawn, you are beholden to no single nation. You stand as the vanguard for a united Eorzea. From this moment forth, I declare you Crystal Braves. Let us mend this fractured realm and face our enemies as one. Whether it be the Beastmen and their primals, or the conflict in Carteneau, it is plain that the nations of Eorzea cannot solve the problems which plague the realm. Thus, does it fall to some few heroic souls to succeed where they have failed. Come! Take your place at the Scion's side as guardians of Eorzea, and together we shall fight for the freedom of all!
Speech!
For the freedom of all!
Alphanard!
A rousing speech, Alphino. Or should I say, Crystal Brave Commander Levieux?
Levieux? Leviosa.
Please,
Not
Excellency.
Leviosa.
The title is honorary. I shall not be leading the troops into battle, as it were. We are of the same purpose. Let us join hands and do what must be done to save this land.
The Scions stand ready.
Scions stand ready, guys. That's it. And that's it. Another
I'm
cutscene.
eager to see what the Crystal Braves might accomplish. This shall prove an interesting time indeed for the Scions. Yes, I'm listening.
Snake, come in.
Our worst fears are confirmed.
Crap. Wrong codex
The
frequency.
entire Isle. Such power defies comprehension. Truly? Kryl is alive? Thank the 12.
Yes, that person. Who's that?
I see. Pray, inform me if her condition changes. Yes,
Who's Kryl?
I shall pass on your words to Eorzea. My thanks. I shall contact you anon.
Moriange.
When I learned of the loss of the Isle of Val, I dared not hope that my friend had survived. Yet, by some miracle, it would seem she has. She's still to regain consciousness, it is true, but better that than death.
Okay.
Putting this happy news to one side, we must now endeavor to make sense of the readings taken by the survey party. It appears the etheric disturbance which accompanied the Isle's destruction is of a magnitude alarmingly close to that of Ultima. Could the Ascians be responsible for this devastation as well? I wonder, have you heard aught from the Mother Crystal since the battle with the Garleans?
He did an NPC shake his head. He did the RPG shake the head instead of the nod.
Portends not but ill, I fear. Louis Soir, I pray you yet watch over us.
Louis Soir. It is done. Brave New Companions has been completed, and we have been asked to pick between 3 armor pieces that I can't even wield. Wonderful! Quest complete! Oh, no. I spoke too soon. Another cutscene. Yeah, I think they have like a headpiece or something, but it's some sort of thingamajig. Some sort of thingamajig. Very good. The final cutscene of patch 2.3, I assume. Which is going to set up 2.4. Let's have a look. I agree, Pablo. I feel so bad because I don't want to skip the cutscenes because I want to get the story, but like she puts me to sleep, man. She puts me to sleep. And this patch has just been very cutscene heavy, so I'm just like, this looks cool though. Who the hell's this? Check out that outfit. Goddamn Archdeacon from Dark Souls 3. He's Ramuh's son. He's Ramuh's son. He's got a big beard. Look at this shit. Excuse me. I haven't done those hard trials for Ifrit and stuff yet, no. I've got the quests waiting for me, though. I need to do it. As well as so much other stuff. God. Cool. Eorzea defended. And I'm coughing my guts up. That's patch 2.3 completed. We will now be able to begin patch 2.4, which is Dreams of Ice. But with that one, guys, I'm going to be wrapping up this stream because I'm tired. I woke up really early, so I'm pretty tired. The game's put me to bed. I'm going to go have a nap and then enjoy the rest of my day recording some video games. But guys, I hope you've had a nice time on the stream. Sorry if it's been very cutscene exposition heavy and not much action, but we did get to take on Ramuh, which was nice. Next stream we're going to do patch 2.4 for Final Fantasy XIV, and we inch ever closer to Heavensward. We've got patch 2.5 and then 2.55 to run through as well. Before we finally get to Heavensward, Mobius is very far ahead and is already finishing Stormblood, which is where I wish that I was. But unfortunately, the internet has been a pain, and I've been incredibly busy, as usual. But I hope you guys have been enjoying the current playthroughs that are out on the channel, as always. Next week is going to be nice, as Alien Isolation will be coming to a close with the last 2 DLC episodes. Dino Crisis is coming along smoothly, and Dark Souls 3 and Mass Effect 3 are pretty much going to be our primary games that get focused on, so there's going to be quite a few episodes of those next week. I hope you guys are looking forward to them, but I'll see you guys again soon for another stream. I'll be planning on doing more Final Fantasy XIV, and then I still need to finish our cutscene reaction to Metal Gear Acid 2, which we'll get around to as well. Among other things, I still need to resume my caveman run of Dark Souls as well. So there's a whole bunch. There's a whole bunch to get into, and I'm trying really hard to make sure I can have enough time to do all of these things without falling asleep on stream. Unfortunately, this stream is one of those streams where I'm falling asleep on stream because of Minfilia. Blame Minfilia. But guys, thank you so much for tuning into the stream. It is much appreciated. I will see you in the next stream, or not, because apparently I'm going to die. Apparently I'm going to die of this cough because I got something caught in my throat. So it's the perfect time to bow out. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll catch you in the next stream.